2023 is going to over now. Time flies and we are not conscious of when we have fun, doesn't it? We are looking forward to another year, which is 2024. But in this lesson, we will talk about some English habits that will improve and that will lead your English to the next level. In this lesson, we will talk about to set clear English goals. We will optimize your English study plan and find out if it's your mindset that is holding you back. But before discussing the 5 steps or 5 habits that will improve your English level dramatically, let's take a few moments to look back at the year that you have spent, 2023. And what's your assignment? Your assignment is that just write down in the comment section just one thing that you feel proud of. It doesn't matter how tiny, insignificant it seems. Perhaps you haven't watched an English movie without subtitles in 2022. Perhaps you have spoken to an English native speaker and you haven't done it before in 2022. You have to write it down in comment section. That thing that make you feel proud of your year. And you can also write down the most challenging, the most difficult thing in your English language journey. And because my year 2023 is full of ups and downs, highs and lows, but I hope that 2024 will be an amazing year for my channel. And I hope that this will also happen with you, because I am going to discuss 5 habits which will help you a lot in your English language journey. First step or the first thing is to maximize your time. What does it even mean? By maximizing your time, it means that you have to make advantage of your time. You have to make the most of your time available to you. But it should be realistic. It should not be that you are telling yourself that I will spend 20 hours a day learning English language, when you have such a demanding and serious job and you have got young children to care for. It won't happen. So make sure you will maximize your time and devoting it in a realistic way. You should be realistic. You should not be idealistic while devoting time to study English language. And when I say that it should be realistic, what one thing can help you is to create a study plan. Yes, it sounds serious, but you have to create your own study plan. Because if you are not making the right kind of progress you want in English language, or you are not getting the right things, it means that you are not working in the proper direction. You are not learning the right kind of things. And you are not learning in the most effective way. You are not maximizing your time. That's why you have spent a lot of years in learning English language and still you are having problems with your English. So make it a habit. Make it a habit to learn English language on the daily basis. If you say that I can spend 30 minutes a day in spending English language, I say that it's perfect. I say that it's okay. It's more than perfect. But it should be realistic. Now you have to plan the schedule time, schedule study time, what hours or what amount of time you can dedicate and how you can make the most of your time to study English language and how you can study the right kind of things. Sometimes we are reading, but we are not reading the right kind of things to improve our English language. That's why we are spending time, but we are not spending time in the proper way, in the most effective way that will help us to study English language. I have talked about the scheduled time, but what about incidental study time? What does it mean? Incidental study time means extra time where you have got while traveling on the bus. What can you do that? Tell me in the comment section. The second step, the second habit which you can develop is practice in your head. Yes, if you haven't tried it in the last year, make sure you are going to make it happen in your next year, in this year, to make English language leap to the next level. If you understand my lesson without subtitles, it means that your words and your vocabulary of English language is quite enough to express your ideas in English language. And I admit that thinking in another language is quite exhausting. And it's slow, it's frustrating, and it's quite hurting when you are constantly thinking in English. And I also admit this reality that speaking out loud with another person is under pressure. You are always under pressure. So the best thing is to train and to think in English on your own at any time. It doesn't matter. And I also admit that by the end of the day, while thinking constantly in English throughout the day, your brain will be like it is fried. Your brain will be exploded. And the good thing is that exhaustion and confusion and feelings like that, your brain has been exploded, your brain has been fried while thinking throughout the day, is a good sign. When you have this feeling, it means that it's going to work. It is going to make it a habit. But what requires is consistency. Consistency is more required. When it becomes your habit, it will happen naturally and automatically. You have to feel this feeling of exhaustion, explosion, and the feeling that your brain has been fried. But you should not quit this practice thinking in English. My third suggestion is to have a good night's sleep. If you are going to bed and have a good sleep, it will improve your concentration power. It will help you to think clearly. Because if you haven't a good night sleep, you will have a hard time thinking over your problems and your solutions. So, good night sleep is very much important to have memory consolidation. What is memory consolidation? It means that the words, the vocabulary, the expressions, the phrasal verbs, all the knowledge which you have learnt throughout the day, the practice of thinking in English which you have been observing with great effort and determination, gets stabilized, gets cemented in your brain when you are sleeping. So my main point is that don't let your hard work and your extra effort wasted, and have a good sleep so that your memory consolidation happen, so that you have a clear thinking over your problems and solutions, so that all your efforts of learning vocabulary, English language, and all phrases get cemented in your brain, and they do not be wasted. So have a good sleep. It's a third point, the most important point. Number 4 step is ask for help. I admit that it's hard and sometimes it's tormenting and frustrating to ask for help. But believe me, most of the people are happy to help you to improve your English language. So you have to practice some of the English questions that you can ask for help. Can I ask what that word means? You can say that. Can I ask what is the name of that thing? I admit that some of the persons are grouchy people, the bad temper people, but move ahead. If you come across a grouchy person, just go ahead. because grouchy people are always there. Grouchy people are always commenting me on YouTube channel, but they are not hindering me, but they become a motivation to make more videos. They are not stopping me. So the grouchy or the bad tempered people won't resist you, won't stop you to learn English language. Go ahead, meet the nice persons, nice people, ask help, and the best moment to ask for help is in the conversation. Perfect time to ask for help, and believe me, it will help you to improve your English language. The fifth, the last important point is use what you have learned. We have discussed maximize your time, make the most of your time, take advantage of time, create a study time, make the realistic use of your time, and how can you use the incidental study time. I have discussed how to practice in your head and what kind of feelings will erupt. I say that passive learning, memorization of new words and vocabulary, and asking for help, these are the great ways to improve your English. But the most important upon which the building of your English language learning is erected is to use what you have learned. Yes, use what you have learned. And you can use, if you are not living in an English speaking country like me, if you are a non-native English speaker, so how can you use what you have learned to consolidate it, to stable it, to cement it in your brain? You can find out online English community where non-native English speakers speak to each other. You can talk to yourself and get used to and get comfortable with what you have learned. Because all is in your brain. The difficulty comes when you don't practice, when you haven't utilized what you have learned. So if you haven't used it in the last year, make it a habit to use it in the year, so that you make a huge progress in this process, and don't let your patience go down. Be optimistic, be realistic, be hopeful, be determined, and go to learn English language and fulfill your dream. This is the topic of today. Hope you have enjoyed and learned a lot from this content, from this video. If you have learned a lot, please like, share, and subscribe the channel, and hit that bell icon, because it motivates me to make more videos. So till the next video, stay happy, stay blessed. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.